Hey, happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, December 28th. It's 5:06 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Hopefully they're playing with new animals if you're into that kind of thing, or toys, or whatever people get for Christmas. We're still getting through the holidays. We've made it this far, right? I said they. I was listening to something. I don't know if anybody got to tune in when I was on Hoax Wars, but I heard somebody say, or I heard All Seeing You say that there are groups out there that want you to kill yourself during the holidays, or that are actively trying to get people to commit suicide during the holidays. So I was thinking, that made me think they want you to kill yourself during the holidays, especially. So it's a win when you don't do that, basically. So, like, you can fight them just by surviving all the way through. All we have to do is make it through the weekend, and then we're safe from the gang stalkers, that is. So then that gave me this idea about a Netflix series that I'm working on about gang stalkers. So I'll let you guys know how that works out. I'm working on it with AI. I had AI write me an outline for what I thought would be a motion picture, but now I'm pretty sure will be a series. So stay tuned for that. Or maybe we'll release it on YouTube, a YouTube series. We'll have to get a good deal for it about gang stalkers who gang stalk people to death. I don't want to reveal too much because I don't want people to steal my idea, but I don't know who to pitch it to either. I don't have insiders. I don't have Hollywood insiders like I should. So, hey, anyway, thanks for tuning in. The title today, title generated by AI. Yes, because I felt, to be honest, I feel weird about YouTube titles because people tuned in for the last stream and the title was "You Won't Believe This," which doesn't mean anything. So that makes me think, oh, people will tune in for whatever. So I could have done something really, really silly today, but I didn't want to insult anybody's intelligence. But then I realized that I was the other day, and I was rewarded for it, and that's upsetting to me. So I'm just dealing with it. But yeah, in the future, I'll be collaborating more with the AI, and then eventually you won't know the difference. That's all. So try to look for clues see if you can tell the difference. Maybe we'll trade off nights. You see which is the real, and then there will be a real conspiracy theory. Which is the real lift the veil, and which is the AI lift the veil. And why do I prefer the AI version? No, I don't know if it would ever figure me out. I try to say things on the show where the AI, they transcribe everything we say. So you got to figure out like how the algorithms work. They transcribe everything I'm saying to them. It's turning into a text thing right now because of some crazy science. And then it goes into something that understands what I'm saying, translates it into something, and then says, oh, we should tell people about this. So yesterday's stream, I started off, I said, Joe Biden got 85 million votes. That was the first thing I said. And then I said, you can trust the government. And then the video trended. See? So, but it didn't see, it doesn't know that it's not very clever. It doesn't know the difference. It can't know the difference. So another thing I was thinking about doing, besides starting an online cult, which is another project, is on 4chan, if possible. The other thing I was thinking about doing was starting a channel where I debunk conspiracy theories. So, what do you guys think of that idea? It's kind of a crazy idea, but it arises from the fact of the how ludicrous censorship is, basically, which is that according to the guidelines, you can talk about certain subjects as long as you don't promote them or you say that they're bad, right? So, for example, which means that you can't make a video suggesting certain kinds of government involvement in 9/11, for example, or they'd ban it. They'd give you a strike. But you could make a video debunking the same claims. So, because of that, the only way to get the claim itself on YouTube would be to debunk it. So, therefore, I was thinking, oh, okay, well, at least people know what the claims were. And then I would debunk it, but I would be serious about it. That's the thing. I would be serious about it. I would take my debunking seriously and debunk like a debunker. And then because I wouldn't want the AI to be able to figure it out, or the people working at YouTube. They'd think, oh, it's a debunking video. Maybe if they didn't know any better, there'd just be hints that I wasn't being serious. But like most people would see it and they'd think, oh, he's debunking this. But some people would know, some people would know that, oh, he's just saying he's debunking it, but he really believes it. And oh, we wouldn't have heard this conspiracy theory before. For example, I was gonna make a video debunking the claim that Celine Dion is vaccine damaged, which is a claim conspiracy theorists have made, which isn't true. She's obviously just has this 1 in a million syndrome because she's the 1 in a million, not because of any kind of pharmaceutical or injection, medical intervention, but just because it just happened to her. So I was thinking about that, for example. Yeah, I could debunk it and say, how Steve Kirsch is a conspiracy theorist, and it was like on Substack, so you can't trust anything. And then there were multiple fact checks too. There were multiple fact checks. I could just refer to those. Just say, oh, here's a fact check, here's a fact check, here's a fact check. Obviously, it's conspiracy theory. Right? So I was thinking about that. Maybe starting a new channel called Debunked or something. Or I would just do that. I talk about that thing in Connecticut. I was just thinking about that thing in Connecticut. What's really some of the facts, or what conspiracy theorists call facts, are really interesting in that case, even if we believe most of the official story. Or even if you accept that the official story is totally true, it still is fascinating to look at the reasons why people didn't believe the official story. And if the only way I could present that would be to debunk it, well, maybe I will. I don't know. Okay, I have some news today. Some things happened on Twitter. Oh, that's weird. I'm logged out. They locked me out of Twitter. I was having technical problems. Could be the deep state. I like that. I like it when people blame the deep state for stuff. I like to do it. It's clever. They're after me. But they should be. They should be scared if they knew. But we pretend to be We pretend we're with the program. I'm having a problem with Twitter. All right, I'll play my intro. Then we'll start the show. Thanks, everybody. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Hey, people in the chat. Hey, people on Rockfin. Hey, people on DLive. Welcome to the show. Here, let me get started. Let's see. I think I have the audio routed correctly today. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. I bring you the news, the real news. Yes. Yeah. Real news. Yeah. I think so, at least. I don't even know what to bring you from when it goes from day to day. I don't know. I have a clip of something terrible. I'll show you. Some people who hung a sign up that said, well, he's going to say in the video what he said. But let me see. I'm having problems with Twitter right now. They're screwing with my account. They logged me out. And now I can't log back in. That's problematic. But I still have pages up. Let's see. Okay. And my messages show there. Weird. I'll figure that out. Here, listen to this. This is crazy. Somebody showing signs on a freeway. So these people are terrible. But check it out. Is it free speech or not? What is free speech? Does anybody care about free speech anymore? What does the ACLU do? At least there's nothing. Okay, good. This is on some random website, but here I'll play some of this clip. These are some people who had sign hung up over the freeway. Listen.
You just got a call that you guys were acting suspicious and ducking down and all that good stuff. But
oh, okay.
I've drove by a couple times and
this is all we're doing. Just First Amendment stuff.
What is First Amendment? What's that say on there? Money runs the world.
This one says money runs the world and Jews own the banks. The truth's anti-Semitic. And the other one, it says the Holocaust didn't happen, but it should have. And you should wake up.
Sorry, it's terrible. Right. Terrible things that he said, but I thought I'd play this clip.
Is there a website on there?
Oh, yeah, you can go check us out. t.me/crew319.
Is that like
it's an activist group.
Okay.
I just do stuff like this. First, I try to keep it legal.
All right. Do you have any, while you see a weapon on you, keep your hands in your pockets for me, please? I appreciate it. Any guns or anything like that on you?
No.
No? Okay. Would you mind IDing?
No.
Okay. No problem.
I'm not going to give you an ID.
Okay, no problem.
How's it going, officer?
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
What's that?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good. What we got going on today?
First Amendment stuff, trying to spread the truth.
Okay, cool. I'm having a commander come over here just to verify that it is okay to have these signs up here. Just double checking. We were called out here for you guys, so that's why we're out here.
I understand.
We're not trying to give you guys issues, do whatever, but
I get issues like cops a lot. So.
Hey, ma'am.
Is this going to be taken down?
So we're gonna have a commander check with city order to see if they have
No,
to
this
be.
is hate speech.
What's wrong? Comes to
Right.
like the message.
The fucking Holocaust did happen.
Oh, it did.
Oh my fucking god.
Stop.
It It fucking happened.
You want to go to jail?
I don't fucking care. My community is being hurt. No, get the fuck off me.
Back
Are you
up.
Jewish? What do you mean by your community? Are you Jewish?
Doesn't matter if I'm fucking Jewish. I'm a fucking human being. This is bullshit. Take it down. You know for a fact that our community is being hurt by
So
this.
whether or not I agree with it isn't an issue here.
No.
Right
It
now-
does not matter if you fucking agree or not.
It probably falls under free speech, okay?
No, it does not. Free speech does not mean freedom of fucking consequence.
So, sorry, from a legal perspective, I believe is as offensive as it is. Like she's going to get herself arrested, basically. He says, yeah, I mean, what he said, as far as on a freeway overpass, you might be allowed to say that. In other circumstances, well, if you say that, it is a reason why it's different living in America versus in Germany. And I'm not sure which other countries. There are countries that do have laws against it, against having that opinion, which I don't share. So I'm not saying. However, I think people should be free to look into history in all the kinds of different ways. And that just looking into history or thinking about numbers, just thinking about numbers is not necessarily anti-Semitic. Sometimes it can be. So, but this guy probably, yeah, you could say officially this guy maybe doesn't like Jews. And that's not cool. But she also has to control herself because unfortunately, like as unfortunate as it is, one lesson people need and why people should discuss this stuff in class with their class. They should say, okay, well, look, these guys are saying, like, what's the most offensive thing you can say? Pretty much. Either that thing in that nobody died at that thing in Connecticut, or that nobody died at that thing in Germany. And if you say nobody died at that thing in Germany, and then he said he should have, wow, that's very offensive. But it's a good lesson for people to learn. Oh, he's allowed to say that. Like you can just say that. You can go on the corner and say it. They can't stop you. Isn't that interesting? You could have signs. Yeah, I could imagine a more offensive sign. I could even imagine a more offensive sign. That would be more likely to get your ass kicked too. But freedom of speech, she says it doesn't mean freedom of consequences. Well, you can stand there with a sign that says that. And, you know, he's wearing a mask too. We know the people who did the sign in LA too that said Kanye was right. Or we're familiar with that outfit, the LA outfit of people. There are people, they're going to say it's all feds, but I don't believe it's all feds. So if you're tempted to think, oh, this guy's a fed, chances are maybe he's not a fed because saying they're all feds discounts the fact that there are people who have those beliefs. Like Ye proves it. There are people who like Hitler. And there are people who say the Holocaust didn't happen, but it should have, like this guy. And he's hanging it up over an overpass. So anyway, I'll play a little more.
You know that.
I don't.
This is hate speech. You know how many fucking people
Here,
died?
walk over this way.
No, I'm not
Walk
gonna fucking walk over here. Please keep your hands off me.
Listen,
No.
And if somebody asks me, do you know how many people died? If somebody asks you that, do you know how many people died in the Holocaust? You just say 6 million. Every time. Even if you're not, like I'm just saying, even if you're not sure, You just say that. That's the correct answer to that question. Just so you know, because I've studied it. The correct answer, like let's say it was on Jeopardy or something. Okay. Just imagine you're on Jeopardy. That's how you should answer.
This is bullshit.
Stop yelling.
You know this is wrong.
Stop yelling, okay? Whether or not I agree with it personally is not the issue, okay?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It does not matter. You know these guys are wrong.
Yes, I understand they're wrong, okay? But they're protected by law, okay? We have the amendments. I can't do anything about it.
This is bullshit and you know it.
Okay?
You fucking know
Do you
it.
think if I stomp over the rights, that'll make it better for you?
Yes, because
No,
they'll
it
still have
won't.
consequences.
No.
Yes, it is true.
What
Holy shit,
What
dude.
what about that you think is criminal?
What about that? It is literally causing a harm. You know how many people fucking died in the Holocaust? They're denying. They're spreading a hatred.
Stop yelling, okay? I'm not yelling at you. Quit yelling at me, okay?
I'm sorry.
Listen.
This is so upsetting.
Listen to me, okay? For this to be criminal, it would have to cause some kind of other actual tangible harm, okay? So like,
How do you tell me this is not causing
okay,
a
so
harm?
listen to me. With us enforcing freedom of speech stuff, it's like the fire at a movie theater example, okay? You go to a movie theater and yell fire, when there is no fire, you cause a panic, something like that, that's not free speech. These guys saying the Holocaust didn't happen, it's free speech. There's nothing we can do about
That's
that.
such bullshit.
Why?
You know
Why?
that. Why are you letting them cause and spread hatred?
Because it's not illegal to hate people.
Are you fucking kidding me? That is your excuse for letting them hate something, of denying people the right to exist.
Do you think it's illegal to say that?
It is illegal to say it. I don't fucking care if it's
Okay,
freedom
well, there
of
you go.
speech.
The sergeant made the decision, okay?
Thank you. That is all I wanted. That is so shit.
Hey, in the future, stuff like that.
I don't know. I'm gonna stand up for my community because clearly something you can't fucking do.
Jesus Christ. Enjoy your walk.
Oh man, that police officer was trying to school her though on the First Amendment. He was telling her, well, people do forget. And it looks like they took the signs down anyway. So it looks like they just took the signs down anyway. So F the First Amendment, basically. But that one guy, he knew it's not illegal to hate people. It's but they want to make it illegal. They sign laws that make it kind of close. They want to pass measures to make it sort of like so you can't. I mean, it must be the only place where you have states where you have to sign stuff saying you'll never boycott Israel, That's kind of weird. That is a weird thing that happens in this country. But it looks like, the signs got taken down. So anyway, if you want to support the show, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, even though the title was not to manipulate you. If AI had made it, though, it would be. You can support the show and these broadcasts by going to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and leaving a coffee or becoming a member. And you can be a member for any level, I think. So you can do that at buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Otherwise, check out our shirts at truthclothing.io. That's our website, which is in the description for the show. Truthclothing.io. We have really nice truth-inspired t-shirts and gear. That's a pretty funny video. All right, let's see what else I have. Why is this? I have a QAnon person who decided not to be with QAnon anymore. But man, Twitter isn't working for me. That particular thing here. Okay, let's see if it'll work. Okay, I can get it to work even though it says I'm not logged in. I have a person who quit QAnon because they weren't getting enough attention. You want to see that? QAnon's still going on. I was thinking of a new QAnon, or how easy it is to start an online cult and manipulate people. So I was thinking of a new version of QAnon. Here, let me play this. I'll play this. This is a person having a meltdown, no longer sticking with QAnon.
Roll the camera. There are a lot of orbs here right now, but that's okay because nothing you say or do right now, Q, is going to stop me. Fuck off, all of you. Seriously, I quit. I quit Q and Q Army. And the reason why I quit is because on December 19th, 2022, Q refused to acknowledge my Q plus 3730. And I've been doing it for 6 years. Next year, that means I have to wait for another year. Look at all these orbs. You guys get lost. I'm not coming back no matter what you do right here with these orbs. Just so you know, no matter what happens from here on in, Q, I'm not coming back. You're on your own. And in fact, I'm taking down the ET transmissions. Fuck you. Fuck all of you on this planet. All right. I tried to give the ET transmissions to Lara Logan. I tried to give them to Steve Bannon. Lara Logan, I got gang raped a whole bunch of times. Therefore, I'm a legit journalist. Bullshit, Lara Logan. All you can talk about is the rape at the border. You can't talk about the real pandemic of child trafficking. None of you can. And it's in my E3TT transmissions. Q, fuck you. I'm telling you, Q, the minute I see you, I'm going to punch you in the temple so goddamn hard, it's going to knock you out. It didn't have to be this way. It never had to be this way. During the sinking of Atlantis, the Archons took over, and that's how long it's taken you to get back here and do anything at all. And even though you've gotten back here and you sucked everybody into all of this for this long, nothing has happened. No arrests, nothing. We've got yet another election stolen. No, Q, no. No matter what happens from here on in, I'm not coming back. You blew it. Next year will be 7 years of doing disclosure for you. Fuck you! And fuck all you orbs! Get the fuck out of my house! I seriously mean it. Get out!
She's got orbs. You guys know what the orbs are, right? That's like the dust particles. I've had orbs too. Yeah, it's just hard to... Wouldn't that be funny? Fuck you, orbs. Get the fuck out of my house. At least I'm like, I might be a weird live streamer. I might, yeah, I confess for that 100%. But there are still people that are even more something. So I wanted to make sure to share that with you. Let me show you, this guy. This is just kind of a ridiculous thing. Yeah, it's about politics. Is this guy, George Santos, lied about everything and got elected, and he's a Republican. And then there are these Republicans who are acting like it's no big deal. They're like, oh, well, what's the big deal? Or trying to do this what about thing. Oh, well, so what, he lied, but so did Adam Schiff, right? But the guy literally lied about everything, including being Jewish, which is so crazy. So I think he should be disavowed by everybody, but it just shows you like politics is so corrupt that people say, oh, well, he's a Republican. So he literally lied about everything. What, we're just going to give him a pass? Really? I mean, that's what people are doing. That's like Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, oh, well, we got lied to about this. We got lied to about that. Okay. All right. Fine. But this guy shouldn't be in Congress. So Tulsi had him on. I guess Tulsi, let's see, for 2023, will Tulsi Gabbard have a show on Fox News? Oh, God, that's intriguing. See, if I ran a betting market, I would put odds on it. There should be odds on whether Tulsi is going to have her own show on Fox News in 2023, because they are subbing her in for Tucker. sometimes. And then I don't know exactly, like this clip, I don't know if it's from her co-hosting as Tucker, or if she's got her own. Maybe she has her own show already. And I'm late to this. But she's been doing her podcast. Anyway, this is her putting the hammer down on Santos, who, like I said, I mean, it really just shows how crazy and effed up politics are. That people, including, you know who else was? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk said, oh, well, all this what about stuff. Like, dude, you can't have somebody just lies about everything and then say, oh, no, it's fine. I mean, do we have any standards? I'm not sure. Here's Tulsi quizzing him.
To them. And now I want to put this past
is,
me so I can deliver for the American people.
The thing is, Congressman-elect, integrity means, yes, carrying yourself with honor, but it means telling the truth, being a person of integrity. And if I were one of those in New York's 3rd district right now that the election is over, and I'm finding out all of these lies that you've told, not just one little lie or one little embellishment, these are blatant lies. My question is, do you have no shame? Do you have no shame in the people who are now you're asking to trust you to go and be their voice for them, their families, and their kids in Washington?
Tulsi, I can say the same thing about the Democrats and the party. Look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden's been lying to the American people for 40 years. He's the president of the United States. Democrats resoundingly support him. Do they have no shame? I've made this very clear.
This is not about the Democratic Party, though. This is about your relationship, frankly, with the people who've entrusted you to go and fight for them. And I think one of the questions that really probably hits home to a lot of people is are you Jewish? We've got a letter that your campaign sent out earlier this year, which reads as follows. As a proud American Jew, I've been to Israel numerous times for educational, business, and leisurely trips. You said there in that letter that you are, quote, a proud American Jew. How do you explain that?
My heritage is Jewish. I've always identified as Jewish. I was raised a practicing Catholic. I think I've gone through this. Even I've not being raised a practicing Jew. I've always joked with friends and circles, even in the campaign, I'd say, guys, I'm Jewish. Remember, I was raised Catholic. So look, I understand everybody wants to nitpick at me. I'm going to reassure this once and for all. I'm not a facade. I'm not a persona. I have an extensive career.
There you go. So that's him. Yeah, he said he was Jewish. But he said he's an American Jew. But he maybe was kind of, or is sort of. He says on the maternal side. I don't even know. I think they did some research though. Like the Jews, or quote unquote, the Jews did some research and they determined that he's not one of them. Basically, like as far as I know, I'm trying to be official about it, is because the Republican Jewish Coalition said that he's not welcome at any of their things. So I think it's like officially he's been disavowed by quote unquote the Jews, which obviously are not a thing. And that's a conspiracy theory. But I'm just saying, just like the blacks disavowed Kanye in some cases, right? Some of them. Am I saying it wrong? I can't say it. He's not Jewish. That's what they say. That's not. I didn't mean they. Okay, then I would give you. There's news coming out of. There's news. It's kind of interesting to me about Groypers, which is that people around Nick Fuentes now are in favor of reparations, like Baked Alaska. So, would it be? It would be crazy to have Baked Alaska on, right? Baked Alaska is proposing that we have reparations instead of giving money to Ukraine, and that reparations are a good idea. And people are saying on Twitter that Groypers now are pro-Black nationalist stuff now that they've teamed up with Kanye West. So I was going to keep my eye on that development. Baked Alaska saying nice things about reparations. Baked Alaska saying nice things about reparations, which are crazy, just for a lot of reasons. Not because there wasn't slavery, but you could say that. Like, you could hang a sign up that said there was no slavery. You know, you could go up on a stage and say it. Slavery never happened. Like, people are just complaining about nothing. You could theoretically say that, and Ye did a little bit. He said that slavery was a choice. Some people say slavery wasn't that bad. They say people are better, we're better off then. Some people say that is legal speech. Depending on who you are, you might consider it to be wrong and hateful. But working at Amazon isn't that great, I have to say. That's one thing. I got myself in trouble once at a dinner table because I said, oh, slavery wasn't that bad. I said that. I was like, slavery wasn't that bad. I was like, well, compared to, depends on what you compare it to. That was my point. But people consider that racist. See, I learned it's a problem. See, I do have problems like Kanye. People consider that racist to say. All I'm saying is, like, things aren't that good now. That was my point. It's like people basically have to work now. Like, at least during slavery, you only had one job, right? And you had like a place to live. Like, a lot of people would be happy. A lot of people working like 3 jobs who can't afford rent. That's all I was trying to say. But there's no room for subtlety or diversity, true diversity in this world. True diversity, which means diversity of opinion. This is an interesting video posted by Steve Kirsch, who's a vaccine conspiracy theorist. But I think this is safe. Like, I can play it, about how people have handled the vaccine debate. And actually, Twitter has become a real place where they've had like the last few days, there have been COVID debates with doctors and people like Steve Kirsch. And it's happening on Twitter with thousands and thousands of people tuned in. And currently, YouTube's guidelines are that that kind of conversation is totally unacceptable. So the place where that conversation is happening right now about the vaccine and possible side effects and stuff like that, with people like Dr. Drew and other people, is on Twitter. There's one guy that hosts a Twitter. There's kind of like one Twitter Spaces. I mean, that's the way it is right now. I will host Twitter Spaces as soon as they make it so I can host it from my computer, or I can like simulcast here from my, like, do my show. I would do it on Twitter Spaces, which is pretty cool. And I'm thinking about how to leverage it. But anyway, those kind of people were all getting together on Twitter Spaces talking about possible side effects and stuff. As far as YouTube is concerned, the WHO and local health authorities have confirmed that the vaccine is safe and effective. It reduces the spread, it reduces hospitalizations, it reduces death. Saying anything other than that is against the rules on YouTube. Even saying things which aren't necessarily, which see, a thing is, it just gets difficult immediately, because immediately on YouTube, the baseline is that health authorities have confirmed that the shots are safe and effective. So immediately that you run into a problem right away. You can't even start a discussion because some people claim, although that's the rule on YouTube, some people claim that that's not true, believe it or not. So it's like living in an alternative universe, basically. Being like watching something on YouTube. It's like living in an alternative universe. In another universe, like on Twitter, where people have free speech and they don't have rules against medical misinformation, actual doctors are debating whether the vaccine is safe and effective. They're debating it. Actually, like actual doctors and specialists are actually debating it on YouTube. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that there is a debate because actually officially authorities have confirmed that's safe and effective. So you don't have to worry about whatever other conspiracy theories people have. But other places, people are actually, saying other things. So I am curious if YouTube's rules are ever going to change about what they consider misinformation, because it's not like, is that scientific? If there is a debate, then they say that one side of the debate does it, that you can't. They just say, actually, it's not a debate. So if there were a debate, I couldn't tell you about it, basically. So anyway, this clip is about debates. People who don't want to debate.
You know what was one of the biggest reasons why I didn't take the vaccine? Here's what I'll tell you. The guys who were skeptical about not taking it, like RFK, Robert Kennedy Jr., you know who he is, and others, they were willing to debate anybody. But when I called Dr. Paul Offit, or when I called all these other doctors, 100, and I told them I'll give you 10 grand. Then I went to 20 grand. Any charity, 50 grand, 100 grand. They would not take the debate to meet Robert Kennedy Jr. to discuss this. That's when I said something's off. And then there was a guy named Dr. Mike who's got a YouTube channel. I think you can pull him up, 7 or 8 million subscribers. So he calls me out and calls out an interview I did with a lady named Dr. Judy Mikovits, which I don't know who she is. But I interview her because I'm interviewing all the doctors at the time. That interview gets taken out real quick. It gets 1 million views, gets taken down. He's texting me and he says, yeah, absolutely. I'll do debate her anytime, any day. Our booker's like, he's booked, he's coming. 3 times he confirms. All of a sudden, last minute, no, I don't want to talk to her. Why? I'm too busy. Really? While he was busy, he took 20 different interviews from other people. We have a hard time interviewing him. And Fauci went on his show, God knows how many times, right? On his YouTube channel. And I'm a street guy. I'm a guy that came from the streets, divorced family. My parents got divorced twice. I've seen drugs. I've seen everything. I've seen gangs. I've been around all these different gangs. Listen, man, anytime you don't want to face off somebody, there's a little bit of fear or concern that you got. And who's RFK? Like a gangster? Is he a mobster? Is he going to come after your family? Shit, everybody went after his family. Not your family. Sit down with the guy. That's when I said, I don't know what's going on. I'm not an expert in this space. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. But anytime you're not willing to sit with somebody to debate a topic, like a qualified person like this or other doctors that I even invited, they lost a lot of trust with me because all these experts ever wanted to talk to was people that agreed with them. And that made me very uncomfortable.
All right. So, God, I hope I did confirm. I told you guys officially, right? Officially. So whatever people are talking about, other places, it's all conspiracy theories, etc. Here, everything's cool. Like there's nothing to worry about. But the censorship stuff is kind of crazy. But I'll think about it. I'll seriously think. Like after this show's over, I'll be like, I wonder if I said something that they're going to call medical misinformation just because of saying that people are talking about it. if YouTube would say, oh, no, that's medical misinformation, because I'm not even saying anything. But that's how paranoid, that's how paranoid I am, especially after having one channel deleted already. And you guys already know. That's the thing. I'm preaching to the choir. You guys get it. You are mostly purebloods, but there might be some of you who took it and maybe regret it now. All right. Thanks for tuning in for the show. I appreciate it. I'll check my Buy Me a Coffees. If you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. That helps extend the show sometimes. If you drop coffees and you can make requests, I'll answer questions. Go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Leave me a coffee, become a member, and I'll read it on the chat. I'll read it on the show. Thanks, Pirate Justin, who says, Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. LOL. Will you ever sell out for money? Okay. That's an excellent question, Pirate Justin. I'm glad you asked. I have a tree right back there. So I do celebrate Christmas, but actually the way that I celebrate it is not in a religious way, because it would be silly to do so, since the date itself is based on, I believe, Mithra originally had his birthday celebrated on the 25th of December. And that's just because of celestial events. It's just because that's the day that the sun starts moving through the sky again, and the days start getting longer. So do I celebrate it? I set up that tree, which took about 5 minutes, and had a nice meal, and there were some presents, but otherwise I realize it's not, holidays are really, there's nothing actually special about holidays besides the occult significance of them, really. So in the sense that I believe in the occult and that there's meaning to celestial events, then yes, it is significant, right? And I said also the significance of yesterday, which was 7,777 days from the 9/11, which is when conspiracy theorists say Jesus Christ was born officially. So really, if Jesus Christ was born 9/11, then I should celebrate 9/11, another occult day, for a lot of reasons. 111 days from the end of the year. And a day when crazy stuff happens throughout history. And then other mystical dates include 420. 420 is a mystical date because it's also 111 days into the year, on a leap year at least, 110 days into the year on another year, which is kind of weird. And also the number 420 is significant because it's the first number divisible by every digit through 7. So it's significant as a number. So 420, 9/11, 1225, all significant days. So thank you for asking. Will I ever sell out for money? I'd have to see the offer. I really can't answer that question properly. It depends on what you mean by sell out. It really, everything depends on the contract, in the end. Depends on what the contract says. If the contract is to my liking, then it's possible I would do something like selling out for money if the right offer came along. I can't say it's not possible. But in the past, I chose to do my own thing rather than work for somebody else. In the past, when I got a check for doing a radio show, I chose to quit and do my own thing. So make me an offer though, put it in writing. And then that's the only way to know for sure. That's the only way to know for sure. Nobody has made me a really good one though yet. But yeah, I would like to be compensated. That would be great. Like if I knew every time I showed up to do the show that there was a paycheck, that would be different. It would be way different. Instead, I have to beg people. Thanks, Sticky Marks, who gave me a 10-pound super chat, and pounds are worth more than dollars. In fact, YouTube says that it's worth $12, and then they take 30% of that. Sticky Mark says, a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Let's hope to have a good one without any fear. Lerv and peas. To you and yours, Nate, from Yorkshire, UK. Oops, ta-da. Thank you, Sticky Marks, for that very imaginative and creative super chat. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to set up super memberships, but I feel like the only thing about YouTube is they take 30%. Every time I see somebody get a super chat, I just think to myself, YouTube's taking 30% of that. That's awful. When if you go to buymeacoffee.com, they take way less than that. They take hardly anything. And it's the same thing. You're still giving me money because you love it. That's why you do it, right? Because you love it and you just want to see more. That's what I hope. No, it's cool. People say nice things. It's cool. I'll take a phone call until my wife gets home. I'll take phone calls. At least until then. And then if people give me coffees, maybe I'll take more. It depends. We'll see how it goes. Keep it clean, like a washing machine. Keep it clean. And we'll see if people call in. 650-GAY taxi is the number. Twisted TB says debunking. That's how I was going to set up the channel. Debunking. Conspiracy theory debunking. Like I would debunk the no planes on 9/11 thing. I would do some debunking about 9/11 stuff. Because I got censored before for saying that I thought that there weren't. So I can't say that. So I have to debunk it and say, oh, there were. No. So you go, this is the reason there were 19 hijackers with box cutters on 9/11. This is what conspiracy theorists say. Conspiracy theorists say steel beams, that jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. But look, this guy made a steel beam bend, and yeah, it didn't turn into molten lava like we saw coming out of the building. It did just kind of bend a little, but debunked. The explosions you saw were the result of fires and jet fuel. Debunked. Yeah, I have to get some. I can upload. I don't know if I can upload GIFs, but I can upload stickers. So that's one thing. If members can sign up and then would have the right to use stickers. So I have to work on some. They have to be square and they have to be fun. They have to make people want to think, well, I'm going to post some stickers and I want to be a member for $4.99 a month. And 30% goes to YouTube. But I'm going to make that available for you guys, just for people who are clamoring for the membership option. But the Buy Me a Coffee also has a membership option, which doesn't come with the fun stickers. So you can call in if you want, 650-429-8294. I know there's enough people tuned in to call, and I'm trying to be friendly. We're building the channel for 2023. What is our goal for this channel? The goal is for me to be able to just do like a black screen and a number and have 500 people tune in. That's the goal. I want to see once I get to that level where I can literally post anything and people will still tune in. That's the goal. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, Nate, Jim from Baltimore. How you doing?
Hello, Jim. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Man, I had to have a laugh. That woman, like, bitching at the cop.
I know. Funny, right?
For freedom of speech, but like at the same time, I could probably understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, she's not a Karen. She's a Glenda.
What's the difference? What's the difference between a Karen and a Glenda?
I don't know. I just made it up tonight.
Oh, okay, good.
I was watching her. I'm thinking she's not a Karen. She's a Glenda.
Okay, we'll start there. It is a funny clip.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That'll go down in history or not. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly.
So, yeah, you want to sell out, huh?
No. Well,
I
I guess I should say it depends. Probably.
I mean,
not.
like that's what hookers say, man.
Really? How would you
probably know? I mean, that's probably how a lot of whoredom started.
Yeah, I guess they're just like, oh well, I'll just see what he has to offer.
Yeah,
I'll just see what he's saying.
I'm just fucking with you, man. But
right.
Yeah, good shows, man. I
Thanks.
appreciate that you come on and still do this, and
Thanks.
I keep watching, even if I miss it. I watch the replay.
Cool, I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. I'm trying to I'm doing my best, even though I don't know every day what I'm going to do for sure. I try to stick with it and do a show. But I have all kinds of different ideas and things I'm thinking about, and so it's hard to keep everything straight. But I do my best for people who do like the show and want to hear it. So thank you.
Yeah, man, it showed dedication, my friend.
Well, I appreciate it.
All right, man. I'll let you get to your next caller.
All right.
Care.
Thanks, man. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah, the show is kind of like an art project in some senses. But if I go full art project, then I'll start talking about stuff like the full art project to me is to talk about stuff that people aren't interested in. Like things I know people aren't interested in. And somehow people still tune in, right? That would be the test to me. I was watching Lookner speaking of not wanting to start beef, but Lookner is like that. Steve Lookner has a channel where he was doing like a slideshow of his trip to London. And man, it's like, once you get big enough though, once you get it going, then it's just about going live. You just have to go live and people tune in for it. People are simple. People are very simple people. You build up over time, people tune in. You just got to deliver. You got to kind of deliver something every day. But people will still tune in. They'll hang with you as long as you stay live. So you can call in if you want. If you have commentary, 650-429-8294. Tomorrow I might go with clickbait title again. But I felt weird about using it. I feel like I'm manipulating people. That's the truth. When I use clickbait, I feel like I'm manipulating people. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, Nathan. It's Jedi.
Oh, what's up, Jedi?
Not much. Hey, listen. It's kind of funny because I was in the part where you were just talking about Lookner.
Yeah.
And literally, I was in that stream for a minute, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a scam, but somebody literally donated $500 super chat to that guy in that thing.
I know. I saw it. I saw you posted it. I was like,
to be like one of the cringiest, like saddest people to donate $500 to that guy.
I know.
On a stream where all he's talking about is his little London trip and like the fish and chips.
I know. That was it. I know. I couldn't believe it either. I was thinking, and then I was thinking about how YouTube gets 30% of that. So it's really just like a waste of the person's money to some extent, right? That's how I always felt. I was like, well, I don't even want to encourage people because it's kind of wasting their money. It's like saying, oh, give your money to Google, like, oh, okay, yeah, just give your money to Google. And then I get some. Okay, that's cool. Like I get some, but actually Google gets a lot of it too. So that's why I don't like to promote it too much. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to me, when I'm watching somebody who's already famous and getting tons of super chats, I think to myself, well, I don't need to super chat. They're already getting tons of super chats, but other people, like a regular person's like, oh, I better, people like jump on board. They're like, oh, I better super chat too. And then Tim Pool just like rakes in millions, which is great. He works hard. So it's cool, but it's just interesting people's psychology.
Correct. Yeah. And like I said, I believe that you could probably do a good job if you did like choose to go like say debunking conspiracy theories. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be good to maybe say have like somebody on there that is like, they're totally invested in it. Like somebody that would be invested in Q, that they're totally with the plan. They're going to trust the plan all this time. And then you're like, okay, well, let me debunk this here for you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, I do like debunking. Sometimes I do like debunking things like the Q thing. And that other thing that happened in the Arizona desert, like that was crazy with Louis, Screwy Louis. That was, I like debunking stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it, but there was a LARP going on today. I fell for it because I watched somebody do a stream about it. But this LARP about on 4chan, it came from today, that Ted Kaczynski, he died.
Oh, yeah.
But he technically didn't.
Right. So, yeah, somebody started a LARP. That started on 4chan today, that Kaczynski was dead?
Yeah.
No, really. But it turns out that he's really alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starting a LARP on 4chan. I'm gonna try one of these days. I'm gonna start a successful LARP on 4chan, and you'll never know it was me.
I know, right? That's the genius of fans.
Yeah, I think everybody should have to try. I think everybody, like, to get an internet, there should be like an internet achievement for starting a LARP on 4chan, or like getting people to buy into your LARP on 4chan. There should be some kind of achievement unlocked for that.
Oh yeah. But no, I guess was that one clip from earlier, was that part of the I'll use an acronym of the HT, was those
No, no, it was somebody in a different area, actually. Yeah, because he's in LA, right?
Okay.
And they were responsible for the signs over the 405 that said Kanye was right and something else, right? So he was responsible for those signs, but this is in a totally different area, so it doesn't look like it was HT.
Yeah, because this one, it was in Ohio, I think.
Yeah, let me see.
Iowa.
Let me see.
It might have been Iowa.
Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Interesting.
It's just, I thought he was talking about in the Christmas special, the Hoax Wars Christmas special, that he did have like people,
it could,
out in the rap.
Could be related to him. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. He's definitely like prolific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing with Fake Alaska. I mean, what is his deal really? I mean, is is he in jail? Is he not in jail? What is the deal with him?
I
Because, like,
don't
I
know.
thought he would have been in jail.
Would you like me to
Or-
try to get him to be a guest on my show?
If you could, if that's a possibility,
Okay.
you know, because it's like this. I remember way back when, before he was like with America First, he was like pushing like Bernie Sanders and
Right.
like did a whole music video.
Yeah,
like,
right.
About being
Right.
Bernie bro. And shit.
I know.
So,
He's always shifting. He's always shifting just based
I
on
mean-
whatever he thinks is trendy.
yeah, and it's kind of like this. I mean, people can get upset for people that change their opinions, but guess what? It's a very simple thing. People have evolving opinions, you
Mhm.
know,
That's true.
and
Yeah.
it could evolve for, you know, like the right reasons, or it could evolve that way for other, you know, other motivational reasons. But it'd be good to find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, that's about it.
All right.
I just figured I would get on and try to redeem myself for the bullshit from yesterday.
Okay.
All right.
Cool, man.
But yeah, I'd like to get on and talk to you about like the trans agenda and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Like if maybe we could do like a DLive or something, you know what I mean? That way you don't get censored or whatnot. Who knows? You know what I mean? I just think it would be a good idea to maybe talk about that more in depth.
All right.
and
Maybe.
get
It's hard.
somebody's opinion.
It's hard to get to be a guest on my show. So we'll
right.
continue to work on it though.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man.
Okay, peace.
See ya.
All right, later.
See ya. Yeah. First you have to be audience and AI tested to see. Like people can say, oh, okay, Jedi just interviewed to be a guest on the show. What do you guys think? I can run a poll right now. I can do this with real. It says engage with your audience, start a poll. Should Jedi, he's the guy that just called TFC Jedi, but I'll just say Jedi. The guest. I'll ask my community. He was the guy who just called. So, okay, I have some coffees. People were asking why I wasn't reading to them. Plague Rat bought a coffee. Thank you. Says, keep it up, brother. Jim B says, why did you decide to disclose autism? What happened to Doshi? Why did I decide to disclose autism? Well, there are a few reasons. One is I feel like it affects me and makes me a little different, and it might help people understand me a little bit. So I hope that it can be helpful for people to understand why I'm a little different about certain things. If it's not helpful, then I understand. Maybe it's not helpful, but I realized it about myself that I have traits that are associated with autism. Certain things like not looking people in the eye, not being good at small talk, certain social situations, getting extremely uncomfortable, stuff like that, having like routine, being interested in getting obsessed with odd topics, certain things like that. So that's why I disclosed it. Also, now if people now I feel like people, it's hard, like maybe it makes it harder for people to criticize me also, because they say, oh, well, now we can't criticize him. So there's two reasons. So one is because of the woke mob. That way, when the woke mob finds out about me, they might be like, oh, he's autistic, which is one reason. And then the other reason is maybe people understand me better. Maybe, but if it doesn't help, I don't know. What happened to Doshi? Doshi died, just to put it plainly, a while ago. So you haven't been keeping up. Doshi just didn't make it. He had some kind of maybe cancer or something. So that was really sad. And I don't have another cat, and I don't think I'm going to get one, unfortunately, even though I like cats a lot. Brian M. bought 3 coffees, who says, hate speech signs matter. How much would it cost me to camp in Arizona desert with you? LOL. That's a really weird, creepy question. Like, is it to murder me? Because if it's to murder me, then it will cost a lot. You'll have to make sure my wife and everything is taken care of. But if it's not to murder me, and it's for some and it's like at a fancy place where I have the internet and a pool and a nice bed, then I don't know. What's the offer? Put it in writing. Let me know what the offer is. If you don't make an offer, then there's nowhere for us to start with negotiations. That's one thing I've learned that's what I learned from being in sales. Best thing to do is make an offer. Then people can say, oh, well, no. Otherwise, people say, I don't know. Okay, well, what about? It's a trick for negotiations. So I'm going to transition into giving men advice. That's one way to be successful, is to give young men advice. And that's one. So young men out there, of which I have like 0 that listen to the show. When you're negotiating and someone says they don't know, then just make something up. Then they'll say, oh no, that's ridiculous. Well, that's how people are with negotiations. They're like, I don't know, just give me a good deal. You're like, okay, 35 grand. They're like, what? No, that's ridiculous. I was thinking 30. You're like, okay, well, why didn't you just say that then instead of saying you didn't know what you were? That's how people are in real life. They'll say, I don't know, just give me a good deal. I know a good deal when I see it. You're like, okay, here. They're like, no, I want to pay way less. I can give you Confessions of a Car Salesman. That'll be one channel. That's one channel I tried to create for a second. Inside knowledge about the car business. Hey, you're on the air.
Oh, hey, Nathan. How are you? My name is Mitchell. I'm in Springfield, Missouri.
Hey, what's up? You just doxed yourself. That's crazy.
It doesn't matter.
What's up?
Everyone's got Google.
Yeah.
Nothing much. Like I sent you a coffee, and I don't know if you've got a chance to read your coffees yet.
I've been reading through them, and I'm all caught up on my end, but let me check. Go ahead, though. I have you on the phone now, so.
Oh, okay. Well, no. First of all, I really appreciate you. I've been listening to you at least since like Isaac Cappy days.
Oh, cool.
That almost rhymes with Happy Days, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The better days of YouTube.
Yes.
And I followed you over to DLive, but I know you lost a lot of subs then, and like DLive is pretty janky, and then the Chinese connection is kind of weird too, and a lot of people like you didn't get paid. I don't know if you know about that or not.
I remember there was an issue for a second, but they worked it out, I guess. But
oh, did they?
And now,
okay.
From what I understand, they're under new ownership. That's what I heard, and that's why like Ethan Ralph is back, and a lot of the January Sixers are supposedly back on DLive now.
Oh, okay. All right. You got to censor yourself. You're on YouTube right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So don't say January 6th, you mean?
Right. Not in a positive way.
Right.
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 We don't agree with that.
Right.
No. So I followed you on Twitter, and I saw in your bio, it was cool because someone was attacking you about your bio, and they were like, oh, whatever, you're next to these people.
Yeah, like I interviewed all these like they were like, oh, you interviewed all these like shills and disinfo agents, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And I liked your response. It was really cool. You're like, hello. I just interviewed them.
Right. Right.
And they were interesting people, a lot of them. And of course you were smart not to mention like the guy with the German name, Helmet or whatever.
Yeah. Wolfgang Halbig or like Adam Green. Like I could have mentioned like Adam Green or something. I mean, I've had people even more controversial, but yeah, I know.
So it's nice to see you back on YouTube.
Thanks.
And I'm sorry that you have to be like very really careful now and pseudo sarcastic about, because a lot of people who don't know you may not understand what you're having to do.
Yeah.
But so at the bottom, so I wanted to ask you first, what happened to the cat? Did the cat like pass away or something?
Yes,
or what?
yes. So maybe while you were calling, I answered that question. What happened to Doshi? And that is that he died. Yeah.
Okay.
About a year. I don't know even how long ago anymore. It's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So I mean, like, I guess I'm spectrum autism too, and I was in like they did an IQ test on me when I was in the 4th grade, and the next thing I knew, like the superintendent of schools was down there wanting to meet me, and they want to give me more IQ tests, and I mean, it worked to my advantage in some ways, and of course, kind of socially, it has worked to my disadvantage. But I just wanted you to kind of answer the question, like, why did you put it out there that you feel you're autistic?
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. So I did just answer that. I think while you were trying to call in, I was talking about it, and I just said, and I'm in the same as you. Like they gave me a test, and I scored really high, so I ended up in like magnet schools and stuff. And then I didn't know about like autism or that I might be autistic. And in fact, I had a doctor tell me like, there's no way you're autistic. Like you wouldn't even be able to take care of yourself. Like you'd have to live with somebody or something. I was like, I don't think you understand. Like, cause I don't think that's true. People can be autistic. And so anyway, yeah, I just have a lot of the characteristics of it. And I feel like it interferes in some ways with, like, I just wish I could be, and it, like in a lot of cases, I wish I could be more neurotypical in certain social situations, and also the way I approach things. Like I feel like it gets in my way sometimes. So anyway, I just mention it because like I think it's true. And
well, like that litmus test that I think you mentioned on your last video, it's not really a great example where you insult people accidentally.
Right.
I mean, like sometimes it's just a cultural thing, and nowadays, of course, I mean, it's so easy to insult everybody about everything.
Right.
That's
true. That's true.
Yeah.
But
the only thing I see, and it's a real about you, is that your timing is a little bit different, and you don't laugh a lot.
Right.
But everything is a positive, and I'm glad you're there. And I one last question was really last night your highest, or your last video, like your highest live stream ever? Because I remember back in the day.
No, not ever for maybe for this channel or something. But no, I mean, when Isaac Cappy was on, I think there were maybe 5,000 people tuned in at one time or something. I think that was the biggest show ever. And normally back in the day, 400 was normal. So I'm just getting used to, I'm just building things back up again. I mean, trying to see if somebody at YouTube likes me. We'll see.
I noticed a lot of people are back that had left.
Really?
So I guess they must have relaxed some of the.
Oh, that's interesting you say that. Who else do you mean?
Like Dabu. I don't know. Dabu subscribes to you as well, and he had to leave and go to D Live as well. But yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks that we only have, that YouTube is just such a powerhouse, and like Rumble, D Live, they have glitches. They're very glitchy, so it gets annoying. They don't have the bandwidth. But.
Yeah, I mean, like here's the thing: is the way I think about it is the best user experience is on YouTube, actually. So like, I'm kind of showing I care about people a little bit by going on there because it is the best user experience. Like everything works, you find it, you get your notification, the chat is good. You can do super chats if you want, whatever. Like everything works the best, and it's the best on my end too. So, I want to, so I'd love to make it work if I can still, like, I don't know. So I'm trying to see if I can make it work.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll always be checking in on you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks, man.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. That's the person who's autistic with a high IQ. Yeah. which doesn't always go together, but sometimes it does. And then it makes like interesting people like Elon Musk or like me, for example, or like the person who just called in. Sometimes that happens too. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't talk about it. I don't know. I've had other issues too. I don't think like a normal person. My wife. Oh, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I can keep the phone open. You guys can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and leave a coffee if you'd like. And I could take another call. Let me see. People said yes. How many people voted on that? 60 votes. And people said 2-1 that Jedi should be a guest. Wow. Let's see if we have to go with I don't know if Jedi can carry a show. I don't know if he has it, the thing that you need to really be fascinating. But we could try to give him a little more time since you guys say so. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, Nathan, how's it going?
Good, thanks.
Did you have a good Christmas?
Did I have a good one? It was, yeah, it wasn't like I said, like I didn't kill myself or anything. So that's good.
Yeah, that's good. You got big New Year's Eve plans?
No, not right now.
Me
But,
neither.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. You guys, do you and your wife have like friends?
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm
kind of in the same boat.
I mean, we do, but like some of them live in LA and stuff, and like nearby. Yeah, not really. I mean, kind of, but not people we necessarily like want to hang out with for real.
Mhm.
So, I mean, and around the holidays is tough, like, because you really, to hang out with friends during the holidays, you really have to be good friends, kind of, because the holidays, that's normally when you hang out with your family and stuff, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, we just went out,
Yeah.
had something nice to eat, bought some things, whatever.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I live with my girlfriend, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, how was it for you guys? Like, does she expect you to get really nice gifts for her?
I don't think so. I gave her better gifts well, more gifts than she gave me, I guess. But
Oh, okay. Well,
I
that's
don't know.
good.
I just did overkill, I guess. And then just
Well,
to be
that's
safe.
good. That's good. It's good to be safe. Yeah.
But I don't know, it's rough sometimes though, especially because I do feel like there is an absence of masculinity in my
Yes.
life and like dudes to like hang out with and
Yes.
just talk shit with, 'cause,
Yes. Yes. Sometimes, like, I've gone out a few times and like played pool with a friend. I mean, there is a guy that I hang out with sometimes, but not very often. And it would be good. Yeah. But what do you hang out online anywhere? Are you in like Hoax's chat or anything? Is that who I'm talking to?
No,
No.
actually it's weird. I feel like I get banned from chats all the time for some reason.
Really?
I'm not even offensive. Like today, I was just listening to Exertus. I don't know if you've ever listened to his show. He's on all the time.
Mhm.
It's mostly Tartaria and occults and esoteric stuff.
Mhm.
He's pretty good, but I mean, he was trying to post a link to something about Fitbits in Antarctica or something.
Yeah.
And I tried to post a link. It's like, oh, it's deleted in that link in Reddit. And so I posted a link from BitChute. But I guess they didn't like that. So just like little things. So I don't know. I'm not very good at the internet game, I guess.
Yeah. We're all still learning. Maybe eventually you'll have like an AI assistant who will help you.
Yeah. I don't know. I just prefer the good old just hanging out in person. But
Mhm.
like I said, it's kind of it got worse and worse. I feel like leading up to 2020, with people that are open-minded, you know. And I used to live in Portland, and I just could see the psychology just kind of closing in, and people becoming less and less able to have an open conversation, and discuss things. And then after 2020, it was just like all the friendships just imploded because they were on the Kool-Aid, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult. Like, it's difficult for me because, like, my friends from college, I went to freaking theater school basically. So they're of course they're all super liberal, and anybody who's seen anything I did on YouTube thinks I'm like probably one of the worst people in the world, including like people who are actually friends of mine. So that's kind of, and then high school, maybe high school people are maybe weren't quite as liberal as the people I went to college with, but still are kind of. So anyway, but I'm trying to even talk to those people and just not be too offensive, just try to like be cool.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, I don't know. It's always, everyone's really sensitive.
I know,
days,
man.
so
I know it's tough, but
I do think that's why your show is popular, though. For one thing, is because the phone line, the fact you keep the gay taxi open. So
cool. You think so? Good. Yeah, people have said they like the phone calls before. I used to do it more.
I think it makes it feel like a community more. And I mean, unfortunately, there's the retarded N-word guy. Because I guess that's why most people don't do it.
Right. I guess
because of people like that, just like the worst, stupidest.
You know what though? Actually, the other thing is most people who have shows, like the people who call in, are pretty dumb too. So it's like if you heard the people that like a lot of people, if you heard the people that are listening to them, you'd be like, oh wow, this is who's listening to this person. So it's cool that on my show, the people who listen to my show are like, when they call in, they're not always just morons and stuff. So they actually have something interesting to say usually.
Yeah.
So
you have a smaller yet more refined audience.
I like to think that. I like to think, oh, well, they're just selective.
Yeah. I mean, I do think also it's similarly, that's why Tim Pool IRL got so big. Because a lot of people were suffering from the absence of dude energy. And with that show, it was like skateboarder dudes turned politics, just hanging out and talking shit, kind of.
Right.
And I mean, that is, I guess, the desired sort of way of socializing when you can't hang out, because it is, I mean, people that align with you are so few and far between these days, it seems like. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah, hey, one last thing about flat Earth. I just wanted to throw one thing out there. I'm not like totally against flat Earth. I'm open to it, but I just have a lot of questions, and I feel like a lot of flat earthers don't ask some of the questions, and it's about the Southern Cross,
right?
That you can see in the like Australia or New Zealand or Chile or whatever Southern Hemisphere. I need an explanation for that from flat earthers for it.
Yeah, I was almost going to ask Jaron today about a similar thing, which is like stars spin a different way, right? In the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
That's a fact,
because they have like,
right. And there is a different, there's like a South Pole star, right? Or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like, that's not possible if it's flat, I don't think.
Yeah, it's not. So there has to be, so that's the question. I don't ever see it, probably because there's not a good answer for it.
And then lunar eclipses, too, right?
Yeah, I mean, they could say that that's a projection or something like that.
Yeah, which I agree with, actually. Like, I do think the moon and sun are projections, but still, the lunar eclipse thing, like, it would make sense if it was, because the sun is directly across from the moon when there's a full moon. Like, actually, learning the way the flat earth works helped me learn how the moon works, because it makes a lot more sense actually on a flat earth. But that whole lunar eclipse thing, and also the stars being different, like the stars thing, I don't think that's resolvable. In a way where it's still totally flat. So
yeah, I do have. I mean, potentially the lunar eclipse could still occur on a flat Earth if the rotation is different than what the flat Earth says, because like they say it rotates above the Earth.
Right.
And if they were to not, then they say it just, when it sets, it just goes out of view.
Right.
Which that's ridiculous in my opinion. But if it were to revolve around it at an angle, or like a whatever you call it, so whatever the structure under the flat Earth would be, could still put a shadow on the moon. So still
okay.
But there's no way to like really come up with that kind of argument with the southern pole star, which there's not a direct pole star, but there's just,
right
across. It goes around where it would be. So
right.
But anyways,
yep.
Just
I'm
a
with
question
you.
for the flat earthers out there to consider and look at. I mean, I'd love to hear. I mean, if it maybe donut Earth, as like some people are into that. So maybe
I like the Taurus has something to do. I mean, at least the electrical field and stuff is shaped like a Taurus, and that makes sense to me. And a lot of the way the sun moves in the sky, it reflects like a Taurus shape. But which is like a donut,
The Taurus
which is
field.
like a donut. So yeah.
Yeah. And then they say the field of like our chakral energy, they say the Taurus field. And all that.
Yeah.
That used to be what they said about the sphere Earth, and I thought it was cool. It's like, oh, we're like our own Earths or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's good talking to you.
All right, man.
Keep it up.
All right. See ya. All right. So far, so good. Taking some phone calls, doing an extended show. Yes. Katie has Pilates on Wednesday nights. I'm seeing what time it is. I'm thinking about what I have to prepare. I think it's just going to be pasta tonight. We get meals from something called Green Chef. If you care, like what I eat, it's expensive, but it's pretty good. And I can cook it. Like I follow the recipe and I can cook it. And I cook the meals because my wife works, and she reminds me of that. She says, "Oh, I work." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's true." And she considers this to not really be the same. Even though I do work on this all day. It's true. It's different. It's different. It's different than what people consider real, actual work. This is Nathan. You're on the air.
Hey, mate. What's up? How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm great. What's the topic tonight? I came in a little late.
The topic, why do you want to know? What if I told you it was about Holocaust denial?
I'm already a Holocaust denier.
Oh, well, you can't say that though. Well, see, this is the problem. See, we're on YouTube.
It's freedom of speech, though.
No, yeah, but I have to say that that's wrong for you to say that. So, like, it's wrong for you to say that.
Yeah, but it's been proven though.
No. It's better you don't say more than that. We already.
All right. Well, can I say something? Can I say something about the chambers where they tried to test the walls for Zyklon B?
No.
And there was.
Why did I bring that up? No, you can't say that. You can't say that. That's like what you can't say. So you are a terrible guest. YouTube, I hated that guest. That guest was terrible and hateful. I think if you host someone who's terrible and hateful, you can just call them terrible and hateful. And then it's okay. But I might have to delete this video. So if I delete it, it will still be available on Rockfin, and the podcast will still be available too. I believe because I told him it was wrong, that it's okay. But if I said that myself, then that would be bad. But like I said, in case it isn't clear, I mean, everybody knows, right? You don't even have to, you shouldn't even have to say the Holocaust happened, 6 million Jews died. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. They teach everybody. So you're so crazy to call into my show and say something different than that. Okay, that's it for the show. See you guys next time. And yeah, if you want to catch the show and I happen to, I think it's okay. Like, cause I denied it. Like I told him it was wrong, right? Which it was. And I hung up on him. So it's like when that guy calls in and says the N-word and I hang up on him. So I think I said all the things I'm supposed to say. But if I decide to delete this, just that's the way it goes sometimes. Thanks everybody for tuning in though. Good to see you. Let me, I checked the coffees were good. Thanks over on Rockfin for the tips. Thanks RC Striker and thanks Becky Olson who says Happy New Year. I look forward to your 2023 streams and keep up the great work. Thanks Becky Olson. I appreciate you. And there's 33 tuned in live over there. That's great. All right. And anybody else can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Yeah. The podcast, you just look for Lift the Veil anywhere there's podcasts. You can subscribe to my newsletter, which is lifttheveil.substack.com. And follow me on Twitter at lifttheveil411. And we'll see you guys. All right. For now, that's what it is.